Hey, this is Andrew Brown from Exam Pro, and we're going to take a closer look at namespaces. So we have been using namespaces throughout our labs, but I figured I'd give it a little extra attention here just to talk about a few extra commands I think that we should know. If we want to, and again, I'm in our micro-K8s environment, so just make sure you have that spun up there in Cloud9 so you can follow along here. But what we'll do here is type in kubectl get namespaces, and so we can get a list of our namespaces. The server doesn't have a type namespace, maybe because I got to type it right. All right, and instead of typing namespaces, we can also type ns. You can see we created those ones prior, fire, ice, and wind, depending on when we did the labs. If I want to make a new one, it's just kubectl create ns borg. It would be our new namespace there. Okay, and some interesting things is like if you let's say we launched a pod. So let's launch a deployment into this namespace. So we type in kubectl create deploy --image nginx n borg. Okay, and so what that will do, I really got to learn how to spell kubectl right. What that will do is launch it in that namespace. So if we do kubectl get pods, that always shows for the default namespace, right? It's not going to show us all of our apps. It's going to show what's in the default namespace. All right, so if we want something from another namespace other than default, we have to put the n and then the name. So we do borg. And I think it's just not there yet because it's still spinning up. So if we were to do deploy here, then we could see it. Oh, did that not work? Exactly one name is required. Okay, so I'm not paying attention here. I'm just checked out here. So we will put the word nginx here. Great. And so now if we go back here, we can see that we have a pod, but notice that if we do not have that, it should not show up. So, all right, so you need to have that -n, or if you want to be more verbose, you can do --namespace. It's important to list like the variants because when I was taking the exam, like when I didn't know there was a difference between deployment and deploy, I couldn't tell if one was just like purposely wrong or there was an abbreviation or a shortcut for stuff. So just understand there's a lot of shortcuts. And I don't think the exam would ever try to trick you by having like fake abbreviations like that, okay? So if you think it is kind of generally says deployment or deploy, then it's probably the same thing on the exam. So one interesting thing that we could do would be to list multiple resources. So and this is not namespace specific, but what we can do is we can say get all, and that will actually list out a bunch of resources. So here we got our pods or deployments or replica sets, and some things won't ever show up there, like maybe like config maps, secrets, ingress, okay? And so that allows us to bring in a lot more stuff. So not all of these things have stuff, but notice we are getting things listed out. Actually, they do. We did get a lot of stuff here. So just realize that that's another way with namespaces. But now, can you get multiple namespaces? So if I say get, pod, and then I say -name, default, and borg, just understand that you can only pass it one, which is kind of frustrating. I kind of wish there was a way to do multiples. If there is, I sure don't know how to do it. But one interesting thing is if you want to delete everything in a namespace, we could do delete all. And so remember what all returned, right? So anything that all returned is what it would delete. So I think if we wanted to get all of them, we'd probably have to do like CM, secrets, ingress, like that, right? But I'm just going to do all. And then we would do -n, and then we would just say borg. It says no name was specified. Oh, sorry. So it'd be all dash or hyphen all. And so that way you don't have to specify name. You can just say all the names, right? And so it's deleted those resources there. I don't know if the namespace still exists. kubectl get namespaces, and that's still there as well. So we'd have to delete that namespace. Kubectl delete ns borg. And there you go. So that's all I really wanted to show you was just some of those extra commands, because it's nice to have that delete all ability when you put everything in namespace and you just delete it. Okay, there you go.